Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. This is Delaney, and for today's video we are actually going to be doing something a little bit different today. So sometimes I do tutorials on my channel, but not like this. So I'm going to be starting a new series on my channel. It is going to be called Work, Play, and Slay. So what that means, I know it's cringe, but I like it, so it's my channel, I can do what I want. But what we're going to be doing is I'm going to take an eyeshadow palette and I'm going to show you 3 looks, kind of my take on like the 3 looks 1 palette trend that has been happening here on YouTube for quite some time now, but I just wanted to put my own little spin on it. So instead of just doing 3 like random different looks, I'm actually going to be doing looks for work, looks for playing, and works for slaying. So just a little bit of a background for it. Work is going to be something that's maybe neutral, but more like something that you could wear to work. That's not going to be, you know, it can be colorful, but not like so crazy that you would feel weird wearing it to work. I know that can be different for different people, but for me, I can wear color to work. I just don't want to wear like crazy amount of color. And then play obviously is I'm gonna play with as much color as I can in the palette, see what shades I love and what shades I don't love, and just try to use as many colors as possible, be more creative with it. And then slay, of course, is just kind of like I don't know, it's kind of a wild card. It's more of something that I feel beautiful in, because makeup is something for me that builds confidence. Every time that I put on my makeup, I feel more beautiful. I just feel more confident, and I want to do a look that kind of embodies that. We're going to be kicking off the work, play, slay with this first palette, and that is this one. So this is the Club Nebula palette by Kaleidos, and it is a collaboration with Angelica Nyqvist, and I really hope I said that properly. I'm sorry, Angie, but I'm pretty sure that's how you pronounce it. But I have not been able to put this palette down. This is not a first impression of this palette by any means. I actually got it a little while ago, and I have not put it away since. I keep it out on my vanity. I've used it probably 5 or 6 times since I've gotten it. And this is just amazing. If you are interested in seeing a work, slay, and play look using this palette right here, then keep on watching. So I originally was hesitant on if I was going to be kicking off this series with this palette because they had sold out on launch day of this palette. I was lucky enough to get my hands on it then, but they actually did a restock a little bit later and also sold out on that one. So I wasn't sure if I should be doing this because I want to make sure that if you guys watch this video, you're able to get this palette. I don't want to just do, you know, I just don't want to show you a bunch of looks that you can't actually get, or, you know, you can't get the palette anymore. But I was watching Angie's video today, and she did say that they were planning another restock for sometime in mid-spring. So because there will be another opportunity to get this palette, I thought that now is the time to get this video up and show it off to the world, because this palette just needs to be talked about. Let's dive right in. So this is what the front looks like. Beautiful artwork. I will put the retail price up on the screen for this palette, and there are some duochromes, some multi-chromes, and some matte shades in here. And Kaleidos is one of those brands that just has amazing packaging every single time, and Angelica really did a great job of sticking with Kaleidos' kind of vibe as a brand. This looks just like a great sister to the Escape Pod palette, which I also do have behind me. I have every single Kaleidos palette, just as a heads up. I love their formula. Their shimmer formula is just my favorite, so yeah. But this looks very similar in packaging, like compartment-wise, to the Escape Pod palette, and then it has like the different colors and different artwork on it, but it has that same kind of holographic look to it in certain lights. It's just so pretty, so great. All right, so opening up the palette, there are 15 shades in this palette, and I promise you, like, I've used this so much. If I tilt it, you can kind of see the divots in the shimmer shades where I've used them, and you can kind of see the little divots I've made in these matte shades as well. The warm tones are not the thing that I go for most. I actually usually stick to the top 2 rows, but I also have done a look with the bottom row, and it's just gorgeous. But here are the 15 shades in the palette, and they are all just so beautiful. They blend out so well. The mattes are super pigmented. The shimmer shades are stunning on the eyes. This, I don't know, like I've always loved Kaleidos' shimmer formula, but something about this palette is a little bit different, even better than their originals. This is a kind of multi-chrome in the middle, and it goes from like a blue to a deep purple. And then you also have a little bit of a multi-chrome with this shade as well. So it goes from orange to pink. But this shade right here actually looks almost blue on the eyes, which is amazing. So these are duochromes and multi-chromes. They have so much life to them. They're so unique. But I would say so far my favorites are the greens and blues. I don't know why, but this palette in particular, like every time I wear the greens and blues, I get so many compliments on it. It's just very unique, not something that I really have a lot of in my collection, and especially this Firefly shade, oh my god, it's beautiful. And it looks so sparkly all day long. So now that I've gotten what the palette looks like out of the way, we are going to be playing around with it. So the first look I'm going to be doing is work. So I'm actually going to be sticking kind of to these neutrals, but kind of in the purple toned range, just because for me, I wear purples every day. It's not necessarily like an out of the box color for me. I'll wear purples to work all the time, like the Lilac You a Lot palette from Colourpop, or the It's My Pleasure Colourpop palette, as well as the violets from Juvia's Place. I wear purples all the time, so that is kind of a neutral color for me. I know for some people you might just want to stick to browns, or you know, your warm neutrals or your cool tone neutrals, and you don't want to really step outside that box. But for me and my makeup preferences, the purple is the more neutral color for me, and I'll actually wear that all the time, and I'll wear it to work and absolutely kill it. So I think we're just gonna make this as neutral as possible, just so if you're watching this and purple's not really a neutral color for you, this will still look like something that you will feel confident in at work and in a professional space. There's a little bit of kick up in the pan when you press your brush to it, but it's nothing crazy. You could just blow that away. Some people don't like that. Some people, you know, don't really mind. All right, so we're gonna go in with shade Naru, and we're just gonna put that in the crease, kind of lightly dusting that in there. And as you can see, it really lays down nicely. I'm actually gonna scoot a little closer to you so it's easier for you to see. Now, it doesn't have to be exact because I will be going in and doing details after, but especially since this is a more neutral look, you really just want it to be really soft and blended. So that's kind of what we want to start out with. I'm gonna go ahead and make the other eye match, and I'll be right back. All right, so now we have shade Naru kind of all in the crease and just focused more on the outer corner. And so we're gonna deepen up with the shade Rock Hopper. So this is shade right here. We're gonna go ahead and deepen up the outer corner with this shade, but we're gonna take the Sigma blending brush, it's an E25, and we're gonna go into the shade Rock Hopper. And it picks up beautifully. It picks up beautifully on the brush. So, just scoot forward. There we go. I just love how this shade looks. It's kind of like a smoky purple. And I'm just focusing it on the outer corner and then dragging it into the crease. Kind of doing the same motion as we did with Naru, but this is just intensifying the look and deepening it up a little bit. Okay, that looks really good. And I'm just gonna go slightly over this little line here and just make it really soft. We're gonna be putting a shimmer shade over it, so it doesn't have to be perfect, but I'm just kind of blending it out a little bit. All right, now we're gonna go back into shade Naru, which was that neutral taupey shade, and I'm gonna actually use the blending brush that we just used, and I'm just going to diffuse the outer portions, and make sure there's no harsh line, and just make sure it's really soft and blended and kind of smoked out. Lastly, usually I do with every single look, I take a shade and go on my lower lash line. So for this case, I'm gonna take Naru again, and I'm gonna use this Lavish eye shading brush. It's more like a flat brush that kind of fits nicely on my lower lash line. And I'm gonna take it and just kind of barely go just a little bit. I just want to make the whole eye look like I did something to it. Sometimes I feel like if I don't do that, the eye look looks a little bit incomplete. Just like that. Nothing crazy, just a little bit. That is it for the matte shades, and now I'm actually gonna take a shimmer shade and kind of bump up this look a little bit. So we have kind of two shimmer shades to choose from that are more on the lighter neutral side, and that is this one here, which is Nova, and You're My Only Hope, which is this kind of like light pinky purple. All right, so since we're going a little bit more purple and Nova leans a little bit more on the blue side, I'm actually gonna take You're My Only Hope right here on my finger. And yes, my nails are horrible right now. They're actually like a pretty length, but the nail polish kind of chipped off. And when I get anxious, I chip the nail polish off, so hey. But we're gonna take You're My Only Hope and right on the fingers. And how beautiful is that shade? Let's see if we can get it to focus. There we go. It's like a mirror. It has like a little bit of blue in there and a little bit of a purpley pink shift. It's just so pretty. So I'm gonna scoot in a little bit. And again, this isn't exact and it doesn't have to be like a cut crease or anything, but I'm gonna add that shimmer shade on my lid. And this shade just applies so beautifully with a finger. And I'm just gonna kind of stamp it all the way around. That's pretty much what I'm gonna do with it. So since this is our like easy look, this is all I'm pretty much gonna do. But I'm gonna go ahead and do the other eye and some mascara and finish off the look, and I will show you the final result. All right, so here is the finished look for the work look of today. And I think this turned out really, really beautifully. So this is something that I would 100% wear to work and anywhere really. I mean, it's neutral, but still has like a little bit of an interesting kind of look to it because of that kind of duo multi-chrome thing going on. I'm not sure if it's a multi-chrome or a duochrome, I'll have to check, but it is stunning, whatever it is. It kind of has like, I think it's a multi-chrome because it has this kind of blue to purple to pink kind of shift in there, but on the eyes, it just looks like a glitter, just fantastic thing. I don't know. I did end up adding a little bit of the shade Nova in the inner corner and as a brow bone highlight just for a little bit of added fun. I don't think it looks crazy at all. I still think it's a work appropriate look, even with the blue inner corner and brow bone, especially because this is a shift to it. So when you're looking straight forward, it looks like a normal kind of highlight on your brow bone and on your inner corner. But then when you turn, you can then see that blue shift, which I really, really do enjoy. I went ahead and just added a nude lip because what is more basic and work appropriate and neutral than a nude lip? And I don't know, I'm really feeling this look. Also with the shirt that I'm wearing, it goes perfectly. I am very happy with this. This is something that I will continue to wear over and over and over again. So yeah, so here's a little close up of the eye look. I am loving it. So from a distance, it still has a little bit of impact to it, but it's not like in your face color, you know? So I am really loving this. Yeah, so this is the first look and let's dive into the next one. All right, so we are back and we're gonna be doing look number 2, which is going to be our play look. So this is gonna be the more creative one where we're just gonna play with a bunch of different colors in here and kind of try to put as many different colors in my eyes as I can. I'm not exactly sure what I'm gonna do. I think I kind of want to play around with the blues and the oranges in here because I feel like that would give kind of a cool look. I'm going to try to do it in a way where it won't get muddy, so it could very well end up like that, but this is the play, so it's fine. I will say my eyes were stained just a little bit from that deeper purple shade Rock Hopper from look number 1, but it's okay, it's very minimal. It is what it is. But we're gonna first dive in with 7 of 9, which is this blue shade here. And I'm going to take a little packing brush. This is the eye shading brush from Lavish. and I'm gonna go into that shade, and I'm just gonna make the shape that I want around my eye. So all I have on my eye right now is concealer. But look how beautifully that color just packs on. It is just super pigmented, like right away. And I'm kind of following my natural eye shape. And then I'm gonna kind of flare it out at the end. I'm just gonna try to kind of play around with a bunch of different shapes today, because I feel like that would be fun. I turned the light brightness down just a hair, because I felt like that was a lot, but I can put it back up if needed. All right, so I have the shape done on both eyes, and now it looks very crazy right now, but it's okay, because I'm going to kind of dust off that blue shade from the same brush with a little color switch. I'm gonna go into, this could look completely strange, I am well aware, so I'm sorry about that. But I just want to do something really fun. I'm actually going to go into Void, the darker blue in the palette, and I'm going to kind of mimic this shape right underneath it with the same brush. All right, so we have our kind of shape going right now, and then I'm going to just connect the darker blue to the end of my eye and kind of fill it in a little bit and kind of extend that wing a little bit. This is kind of looking kind of oceany. I like it. Now I'm just gonna take the excess that I have on my brush and go to the lower lash line just to extend it. Really cute. Okay, so I'm color switching my brush again, and let's see, I'm gonna take this clean brush after I just color switched it, and I'm going to kind of bring the excess forward, kind of starting to blend those two shades together, but really trying to target and not lose those lines. You know, I'm gonna try something and it could completely backfire, but this is why we're doing this play look and not as the slay look, just because I'm not sure how this is gonna end up, but I just wanna play around with it and see what comes of it. So I'm going to take, first I'm going to blend this blue into the darker blue, and I'm gonna use my Sigma blending brush. I'm gonna knock off the excess. They do kind of blend together. Maybe I'll go back over that. Okay, so I'm going to try to take a clean brush and blend out these edges real quick. This is the Luxie 237 blending brush, and I'm gonna go in just a little bit of the 7 of 9 shade again, which is that light blue, and I'm just gonna try to diffuse those edges a little bit so it's not as harsh. First, I'm gonna take that 7 of 9 shade and go on the bottom lash line. So this could be where we get weird. I'm actually going to take this orange shade right here, and we're gonna put that on the lid. Is that gonna work? The world may never know. Maybe I should try putting a matte down first, just to kind of amp up that orange a little bit. I'm gonna take that same packing brush and go into Samus, which is that light orange matte. I love the way the orange and the blue looks together. I just hope it doesn't get muddy at all, but I'm hoping it won't if I'm packing on the shade. Wow. And I'm just gonna connect this to the inner corner with that matte shade just on the inner part of the eye. Okay, so yeah, this looks definitely very interesting. I am going to take this Sigma blending brush and go into 7 of 9 and just try to diffuse this a little bit. Okay, and we'll clean that up in just a little bit, but I'm gonna go ahead and add the shimmer. This is in shade Nebula, which I believe is a duochrome. Could be a multi-chrome, but I think it's a duochrome. Let's see. See how it goes from like a light pink to an orange shift? So pretty. And I'm gonna take this on my finger. Okay, so that shimmer shade is laid down and it's looking interesting. I'm gonna actually take some of Celestial, which is this bottom corner shade, and I'm going to take that and put it on the inner portion of the lid. It's kind of a brighter pink kind of shift. And I'm just putting that on the inner portion of the lid. All right, and I'm gonna go back into that Void darker blue matte and just deepen up that outer corner again, because we kind of lost it a little bit when we were adding the shimmer. See how that just intensifies it? All right, now I'm gonna take Nova and put it on the inner corner, and that's that like bright blue duochrome. All right, so it looks a little crazy right now, but let me go ahead and add some lashes, you know, mascara, lipstick, and everything, and I'll be right back. All right, so here is the final look for Play. So it's definitely not what I originally thought I was gonna do going into it, but it still is a lot different than what I normally end up doing, especially the shape that I created. Definitely not my go-to eye shape, but I did want to try out the like more orange warm toned shimmers in the palette, and I wanted to test out that deep dark blue as well, and I actually really like the look. At first I was kind of getting a little discouraged because I'm like, this looks insane, but maybe you don't like it, maybe it's not something that you would try for yourself, but for me, like, I actually do like it. It's not something that I would wear every day, obviously, but I do still really enjoy the look, and I got to use a bunch of different shades in the palette. So that was really the main purpose for this look right here. So I went ahead and added more of a peachy look, or a peachy lipstick, just to go with the kind of peachy pink on the lid. I actually do like this look. I think it's really pretty. I would do it again. Now that I kind of know what I'm doing here, I would have more confidence going in, but I think this looks really good, and I actually do kind of like this eye shape. It definitely makes it look more like cat eye, like feline kind of look to it. So yeah, I am pretty happy with that. So I'm gonna go ahead, take a few pictures of this just so I have it for reference, and then I'm going to take off the eye makeup and we're gonna start again. And the last look is going to be Slay. It'll be a sec for you and probably a while for me, so I'll see you in a few. All right, so we are back. I just took off the eye makeup, and I apologize if my face makeup is looking a little rough now, because this I have been wearing for hours. I've been wearing this since, what was it, 11? It was since 11 in the morning, and it's almost 10 now. So that's what it looks like, so I apologize. The light does help a little bit, but if I zoom in really close, you can kind of see, you know, especially under my eyes where I had to reapply concealer after I just took off all of the eye makeup. It looks a little rough, but you know what? It's okay, we're just gonna roll with it. So we're gonna do the last look, which is the Slay look for the Club Nebula palette. And I was debating on if I wanted to do more green or if I wanted to do more like bluish green, or if I wanted to go more reddish orange, because honestly, like, I could make a look that I would feel gorgeous in with any of these colors. Like, you could go with these three and make a warmer tone. You could do the blues and then the multi-chrome. You could do the greens and then their duochrome, and you could just, I mean, you can make so many beautiful looks out of this. So I think what I'm gonna do is I think I'm gonna do the look that I did on TikTok and on, I think I already posted on my Instagram, but I will pop it up right here. I'm gonna be doing this look for today. Honestly, just because like these are warm toned neutrals, even though this is a red, swap this out for a brown. You've probably seen that look a million times. So I'm gonna go ahead and use basically like this top row and this multi-chrome here. I just feel beautiful in that look, and I want to show you how I got it. So I've already done it before, so I kind of know what I'm doing more here. So let's just dive right in. So I'm going to take my eye shading brush from Lavish. So instead instead of doing the dark blue shade, we're gonna be doing Queen of Blades, which is this deeper green, almost like a deep teal color. And it picks up beautifully. And we're just gonna go on the outside. So this is gonna start out similar to the other look, except the other look had a different eye shape. This one's just gonna be more round. So I'm just kind of building it up in the outer V, kind of making a little triangle here. And then I'm gonna take that same shade and go into the crease. All right, so this is the kind of shape that I want. I think it looks more like, I don't know. It's just something that I see more on my eye shape than the other one I just did. The other one looked a little bit awkward on me, I feel, just because of the way my eyes are shaped. But I think they're both beautiful, but this is just what I would picture as like really sexy and confident eye shape. And you know, it varies from person to person, so this is just my personal makeup taste. And I'm gonna drag it onto the lower lash line. All right, so that dark green has been laid out. Now I'm going to go into Gravity, which is that light green matte. And it's like a lime green. It's beautiful. I've used this shade many times. And I am going to buff out the edges with that lime green shade. And I'm gonna do the green towards the inner corner and then the light blue on the outer corner. All right, now into 7 of 9 again, which is that light blue, and going on the outer portion, kind of blending it in so it just looks like it fades into it. And I can clean up this edge afterward. I'm not too worried about it. All right, so moving on to shimmers. So I went ahead and did the lower lash line and just mimicked the exact shades that I did on the top. So the lime green in the middle, and then going and fading into that lighter blue, and then into that, obviously, that deeper green. So for shimmers, I am going to take shade Astro, which is the center shade right here, and this is a multi-chrome. How unbelievably beautiful is that? It's like a purple to a blue. So beautiful. So I'm gonna take that and I'm gonna go kind of towards the outer portion. Look at that. Oh, so pretty. I don't know if just how beautiful this shade is coming off on camera, but it's just, it looks like it's glowing. It's so pretty. I'm gonna take Firefly, which is this light green shimmer, and I'm gonna put that towards the inner portion of my crease. I'm gonna use my pinky just because it's a little bit more control with my pinky in that smaller space. This is the end product when you mix those shimmers together. It is beautiful. I love how it looks when it just it fades. Just like the match fade, it fades from like a light green to a blue. Love it. So I'm just taking that lighter shimmer and blending it from that inner corner into that Astro shade. I have to say, I think these two shimmers are my favorite shimmers in the palette. They're just so pretty. They're really unlike any shimmer that I've had in another palette, which I think is why I love them so much, especially the combination you get of the two. It's like a mermaid kind of dream going on. All right, so for finishing touches, I'm just going to intensify that outer corner a little bit. Sorry if you hear my dog growling. All right, so do I want to add a little bit of Nova? I think I do. So I'm going to take that shade Nova again, which we added on the inner corner of the other looks as well, and it's that light blue duochrome, and I'm going to put it on the inner corner. Look at that. Oh, yes. Such a beautiful inner corner shade on any look, honestly. And then under the brow bone. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and do some lashes and update the lips a little bit, and then I'll be right back. So here we have our final look, and this is the Slay look using the Club Nebula palette, and I am loving every bit of this look, especially with green eyes. I think if you have green eyes, this look is just going to make your eyes pop so beautifully. I I just love this. I just love how that green fades into that blue so seamlessly, and on the lid, it just, those shades just mesh together so beautifully. The multi-chrome and the duochrome together just look so stunning. And I don't know, like blue and green together have always been such a beautiful combination, and these particular shades are just so nice. Yeah. Here it is, and I am just so thrilled with this look. This is definitely my favorite look of the three, and rightfully so, because it is my slay look. This is what I feel beautiful in. I mean, I feel beautiful in all of them, but especially this one. This one just gives me such a level of confidence, and I just feel like this one looks more sophisticated, but also like branching out into color. It's not neutral by any means, but my makeup aesthetic is not neutral most of the time. I enjoy neutrals, but I still love playing with color, and this is just everything I could ask for. This is my favorite look I think I've ever done with this palette. It's just so pretty. But okay, final thoughts on this palette. If you are interested in these shades, I would highly recommend getting this palette. It's going to be restocking at some point in the spring. I'm not sure when it will be. I will try to put it in the description box if it has been released, like the date has been released, but I don't know yet. I know I was watching the video today. Today's like the 22nd? Yeah, today's the 22nd February. As of right now, I have not heard when it's going to restock again on Kaleidos' website, but Angie did say that it was going to be restocking in kind of middle spring. So that will be coming up around the corner. I am so in love with this palette. It's not even funny. I have not been able to put this down. This is a palette that I can see myself hitting pan on, which is saying a ton because I usually don't hit pan on colorful shades like this, but it has just the perfect mix of neutrals, some warm tones, some cool tones, and some really beautiful duochromes and multi-chromes. These shimmers, Kaleidos has an amazing shimmer formula, and it won't disappoint. I mean, look at this. It has so much movement, so much texture, so much glitter. I love it so much. So overall rating of the palette, 10 out of 10. That's personally this fits my makeup preferences so much. My preferences are very similar to Angelica, so naturally this palette would work for me. I also am a huge fan of Kaleidos' formula. Going into this, I had every single one of their palettes except their very first one, which was discontinued. This is the look. This is my slay look. This is my favorite one, but I will pop up a bunch of different looks that I've done with this palette that may be different from this. I don't know. But just to give you an idea of what other looks you can do with this palette. Also, I have a bunch of looks on my Instagram, which is @alwaysaddglitter, and it has underscores. I'll pop it up right here. Yeah, it's easier to explain that way. And you can also go to my TikTok, which is alwaysaddglitter, MUA, instead of makeup. But this was so fun to do. I definitely want to continue the series, so let me know what palette I should do next. I have an idea of what I want to do, but I'm not sure yet. Should I include new palettes in that? I'm not sure. But thank you so much for clicking on this video. Please let me know down in the comments, what do you think about this palette? Are you planning on picking this up at the restock? Do you already have it? How do you like it? Which one was your favorite look? The work, slay, play? Yeah, that's all from me, and I will see you in the next video. Bye guys.